Thank you, sir. Thank you for motivating us truly from the bottom of the heart. And it was a lot for us. Thank you so much, sir. I request CA Hetal Kotak to proceed further. Thank you.
I would request Sir to please come on the dais. He waited for a long period of time. Thank you so much for waiting such a long. Our next faculty, Mukesh M Shah, sir, is a practicing chartered accountant for last 47 years. He is the founder, career. He's a founder and managing partner of Mukesh M Shah and Company Chartered Accountants, having its head office in Ahmedabad, which is placed among top 100 audit firm by a Chennai-based research firm. He had first-class academic career throughout his study and cleared his final chartered accountant examination even before completion of articles. He has nearly 47 years post-qualification experience in varied fields of statutory audits of large corporates, management and internal audits, and in specific fields of FEMA, due diligence, merger and acquisitions, enterprise valuations, share valuations, taxation, company law matters, audit and allied matters across various sectors, industries in India and overseas. He is on the board of few companies as an independent director and also a trusted in a few well-known charitable trusts. Few such companies are Adani Total Gas Limited, Asian Granito Limited, Suraj Kiran Solar Technologies Limited, Adani Infra Limited, and lot more. Sir is having a introduction of 2 pages. I'll cut it short. Sir, welcome on behalf of Ahmedabad branch of WIC of ICAI. I welcome you, sir. Would request Kavya to facilitate the faculty with memento.
Good afternoon, friends. First of all, I would like to thank Office Institute, office bearers, for giving me this opportunity to express my views before you. And second, I would like to congratulate all of you for passing CA, final CA, and becoming a chartered accountant, the profession which will give you respect, the profession which will give you recognition, the profession which will give you money, everything you expect in the life, you can get it because of the CA degree. So this CA degree is very, very important. It's a pious and very, very important degree for you. I always say, I love my profession, I enjoy my profession. Anyway, friends, time is only 20 minutes with me, and I have so much slides to go. So let me just come to the main topic. Friends, my topic is pharmaceutical sector. Now, so far as pharmaceutical sector is concerned, it is known as the pharmacy of the world. Pharmacy of the world. And in the pharmacy of the world, 2 cities are very important, playing very prominent role. One is Ahmedabad, another is Hyderabad. I will come to that point later on. Now, since it is pharmacy of the world, why it is known as pharmacy of the world? What is the reason? The reason is that it supplies 50% of the global demand, over 50% of global demand in supplying the vaccines. It supplies 40% of the generic demand of the USA. It supplies 25% of all medicines in UK. So that's how it is known as the pharmacy of the world. There are so many other points, but I would like to restrict my speech to the major points. And when it is such a good thing, the impact is very, very big. The present market of the pharmaceutical is roughly 50 billion US dollar. 50 billion US dollar, and it is the third largest in volume in the world, third largest in volume in the world. Who are the ahead of India? One is USA, another is China. So we are the third largest in volume so far as India is concerned. And within 6 years, said 2024 by end of 2030, it is expected that this industry will touch the turnover of $130 billion, 130 US billion dollars. Now friends, if you remember yesterday, in stock exchange, the pharmaceutical index reached the milestone. The reason is that future is very bright. Within 6 years, from 50 billion to under 30 billion, the market is going to go. So 3 times, 2.5 times, market is going to go in just 6 years. So please remember, friends, it is very, very important sector in the society. Another thing, export. Export is also increasing a lot. Export in the last year, 23-24, was increased by 10%. And reached the height of $28 billion. $28 billion, that is the turnover, the export turnover of the country, of the sector. The important point is, because it's pharmacy of the world, out of 20 big generic companies, 8 companies are working in India. So that is a very important point for the country. And another point is that, see, US FDA means Food, Drug and Administration. US FDA is the strictest FDA regulations in the world. Now ISO, you are aware of. These USA FDA regulations are 100 times stricter than the ISO of India. 100 times stricter. I just give one simple example. In one of my clients' case, US FDA reject the plant only on one ground, that workers, after using the washroom, they were not washing their hands with the soap. Such a strict things that they keep in mind. In another case, they found that in the scrap yard, the discarded cassettes were lying, discarded papers were lying. Now, that discarded paper can be used by anyone else. Now, that strict norms they have. Now, so this US FDA is the strictest one. I will come to the point later on. India has largest number of manufacturing sites of US FDA approval outside USA. So, outside USA, India is the biggest number of plant approved by the US FDA. And because of that, this sector is going to achieve new heights. And because of that, more and more companies are putting money in the innovation, in the R&D. So that is very, very important that you must try to understand. Now, this sector has 4 types of businesses. This sector, 4 types of businesses. Number 1, manufacturing and sale of API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredients and formulation, that is the medicines, tablets, injections, etc. So that is number 1 thing. Manufacturing of API is the raw material for manufacturing formulations. So that is number 1 thing. Second is marketing of generic products. Third is marketing of the branded generic products. And fourth is marketing of innovative medicines. So these are the 4 types of business that can have in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, the margins of selling the drugs in USA, in Europe, Australia are much, much higher. Now, say, here the drug is available at 10 rupees. But there if you sell at 50 cents, it is 40 rupees. So margins are very high. Margins are very high. That's why, say, Sun Pharmaceutical, Zydus, Torrent, everyone, they all try to sell the products to the foreign countries and try to earn the maximum margin. So that is very important. And next point is a number of abbreviated new drug applications. Notice ANDA to US FDA is increasing every day because US market is expanding. You sell more to USA, you earn more and more. Now, what is ANDA? ANDA is a request, formal request to manufacture and sell a generic product in the market. So that is ANDA, that is very important. Those who want to join pharmaceutical, they should know the word ANDA. Next point. Now, so many global companies, pharma the companies are coming back to India. The reason is, there are various reasons. Number one, because of low cost of production. Because of low cost of production, that is low cost of labor, low cost of raw material, low cost of manufacturing expenses, like power, electricity, etc. So that's why they are more attracted to India. Number one, diverse market. Now, 140 crores population, some people are poor, some are middle class, some are higher middle class, some are affluent class. Now, a drug can be sold for 5 rupees, a drug can be sold for 5,000 rupees also. So there is a diverse market, and so they get the market for all their products. 5 rupees market is there, 5,000 rupees per tablet market is also there. So they get diverse market in the India. Another thing is potential for conducting R&D. Now, research development is very important for them. Now, just for your friends, for your knowledge, in India, roughly there are 300 medical colleges and 20,000 recognized hospitals. So, because of 320,000 hospitals, colleges, hospitals, they get very good expertise. And that's why for R&D, it's very good for them. Another thing is, which I told you, the global companies are attracted because there are maximum number of US FDA plants in India. That means these companies are perfect, they are genuine, their processes are perfect and capable to deliver any quality of goods. So that's why the confidence increases. And last one is ease of conducting clinical trials. Now these I will take up later on if time permits. And last one is India has become a hub for the late research, late phase research. What is late phase research? That is pre-trial, pre-conditions before starting the production. So that is very important. Now FDA. FDA is very important in pharmaceutical industry. Foreign direct investment. Now, foreign direct investment up to 100% is eligible in pharmaceutical industry. Now, without approval from government, they can start the production. They can start, so if they want to start the production, they will incorporate company in India and they start the thing because no approval is required. It is under automatic route. But if they want to acquire the brownfield pharma company, then FDA is allowed up to 74% under automatic route. So up to 74% they can acquire an existing company. But if they want to have more than 74%, then they have to take the approval from the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India. So that is also permissible, there is no issue. Now, before coming to India, any company would like to taste the water, how deep it is, whether water is deep or water is shallow. So they would like to taste the market. There are 3 different alternatives available to them. One is the liaison office, another is branch office, third is the project office. Now, what is liaison office? Liaison office is they can open liaison office with the approval of authorized dealer. That's not it's a simple one. Those who want to explore the possibilities of doing business, they always open the liaison office. Liaison office cannot do any other activities, just to explore the market. And approval is given only for 3 years. After 3 years, they have to again take the renewal approval. That is number one thing. Another is branch office. The company, foreign company, opens a branch in India. Now, once branch is open, branch represents the foreign company, foreign holding company, parent company. And they can be the buying agent, as well as they can be the selling agent also. Buying agent, selling agent, they can be both the ways. But they cannot do retail trading. Wholesale is permissible. Retail cannot do it, and they cannot do the manufacturing. But they can remit the funds, subject to deductions of tax. So that is permissible. Last one is project finance, project office. Project office is not much applicable in the pharma, so I'm not taking. But alternatives, there are few companies have opened that, so I'm not taking that thing. The most important point, my friends, is the anti-corruption framework. The biggest problem foreign company finds in India is the corruption. You know very well, so I don't want to discuss anything about corruption. It is known to everyone. Corruption is the biggest issue, and that's why they are hesitant to come to India. So government has realized this point, and in 1988, government has passed an act known as Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. And it was amended frequently. Last it was amended in 2018. Now the main features, these friends, all these things are very important. We want to have a job in pharma company. Your knowledge on all these things is very important. That's why I'm discussing all these points. Now, as per the Prevention of Corruption Act, it is an offense to offer any undue advantage to the public servant. But here the word is public servant, not the private servant, public servant only. And receipt of such offering and receipt. Offering to public servant and received by public servant. Both are treated as the offense. So here, person offering as well as accepting to public servant any undue advantage is liable for the criminal offense. That is number one thing. Another thing is what is mean of public servant? Public servant is very widely defined to cover anyone who is performing a public duty. Who is on public duty, like government officer, those are as the public duty. Or there are some institutions which receive the public funds like universities, government college, the government companies like that. So those who receive public funds or those who are accepting government duties, both are covered under the term public servant. And point is that undue advantage. What do you mean undue advantage? Undue advantage means all gratification that person accepts. But it will not include legal remuneration due to public servant, legal remuneration. Suppose a person is a director in a company and he is paid director fees. Or 1% commission is, 1% profit is paid to the directors also. Now if he gets the commission, then also it is known as because it is a legal remuneration paid to him. So that is not covered as the anti-corruption. Now, legal framework. That is very important for you to know. Pharma companies are governed by various acts. And a regulatory framework is very, very comprehensive. There are 10 acts applicable to the pharma companies. 10 acts. The major one I'm repeating, not everyone. First and foremost is the Drug and Cosmetic Act, 1940. So even before independence, this act was established in the statute. Another is Drug and Cosmetic Rules. So Act and Rules, that is very important. Next one is Drug Price Control Order, DPCO. Now, all the drugs, prices are fixed by the government. All the drugs are prices fixed by the government. That is known as the DPCO, Drug Price Control Order. That is very important there for you to understand that all prices are fixed by the government. Another 3 acts I am coming to point. One is Patent Act. Another is trademark. I will touch this point later on, so that's why I'm not touching this now. Last one is Competition Act. Friends, this is very important for you to know, for your knowledge, that when you want to merge, when there's amalgamation of 2 companies, if it exceeds threshold limit of turnover and net worth, certain threshold limit, then you have to take the approval under the Competition Act. Now, if you read just 2 days back, Reliance and Disney merged. Reliance Disney merged, and they got the approval from the CCI. So that under Competition Act, they got the approval, and then they can start the operations. So Competition Act is very important to understand. Now, this Drug and Cosmetic Act, what is the aim of that act? That is very important for your knowledge. Number one and foremost, ensure availability of standard quality of drugs and cosmetic to consumer. Now, drug has to be standard quality. It cannot be substandard. So that is very, very important, that it must ensure that available drug is of standard quality. And second, it regulates manufacturing, distribution, import, sale of goods, and clinical trials. I will touch later on. Now, as per the Act, to manufacture in India, drug in India, premises as well as the drug must be licensed. So both drug has to be licensed and premises, the place where you want to manufacture should be licensed. That's very important. And they check whether it is hygienic or not, whether all conditions are satisfied or not, and then they give the permission. But once license is obtained, you can manufacture in anywhere in India and can sell any part of the country. So that is permissible. Now, who are the purchaser? Purchaser could be the end user or could be a business with a license to purchase the drug. Now, let us say hospital. They have a license to purchase the drug, but then they use it for the patient. So ultimately, it consumed for the customer. So that is the point. And if you want to import a drug, then you must take the approval from the Director Controller General of India, DCGI. That approval is required. Now, most important point here is a clinical trial, friends. This is very important for you to know in a pharma company. Now, clinical trial you must be aware of before putting any drug in the market, any new drug in the market, it has to be tested. It has to be certified that this is a perfect product and it can be used by the end-use customer. Now, to start with, you must be aware that trials are done on the rabbits. Trials are done on the rats. Once they are successful, then they are done on the big animals like dogs, other things. And finally, it is done on the human beings. So that testing is known as a clinical trial. Now, clinical trial in India are conducted in 4 phases. These clinical trials in India are conducted in 4 phases. Each phase begins with the successful completion of the previous one. Each phase starts with the successful completion of the previous one. So if trial 1 is completed successfully, then trial phase 2 can be started, and so on. So that is very important. Permission of government is required before starting any new phase. So before beginning of any new phase, you must obtain the approval from the government. These are all procedure, but very important for you to know. For knowledge is very important for pharma sector. The next one is the safety and efficacy must be established by using animal data and data on the human being. So that data has to be maintained properly. It should be safety and efficacy should be maintained. Now, permission to grant the clinical trial is for 2 years. If you can't start the trial within 2 years, you have to take the approval once again. Now, these trials the rules are stringent. Very strict rules are there. And rules are prescribed in a very strict manner. If there is something wrong, then the manufacturer is always liable for the penalty. So that, and if adverse thing goes on, he is liable for the penalty. And compensation. See, if you read before 2 years back, there were so many deaths occurred in India, Ahmedabad, for this matter. They were reported, and there were some excuses by the party, but then government passed the order that has to be by order. So if you don't perform, if there's an adverse effect, you must be compensated. That is by order. That's a very important thing. Now, when you conduct the trial on human being, it may affect his physical fitness, physiological impact can be there, mental health may be there, some depression is also there. So when you testing new drug on human being, it can have any side effect. All these data has to be maintained And this data is very sensitive data, very confidential data. This cannot be leaked. This data has to be maintained very strictly by the manufacturer and by the company who is doing the clinical trial. And friends, this clinical trial, in Ahmedabad, there are very leading CRO, there is clinical trial research organizations are there. Cadila is also there, Jadis Cadila is also there, Torrent is also there, some other companies are there. Practically all pharma companies, leading pharma companies in Ahmedabad, they have their own CRO, that is clinical research organization. So that they have, so that is very, very, very important, and their market is very flourishing. It is expected that by next year, the market would touch about the 3.5 billion US dollar. That's very important. Now, friends, another aspect is the e-pharmacy. E-pharmacy you know very well, so I don't want to touch because time is very less. Only 5-7 minutes are left with me, so that I just skipping. Another is advertisement. Please understand, have you seen any advertisement of drug in the newspaper or in the media or in the TV? No. You will not find any advertisement of any drug. Now, if you remember, Baba Ramdev gave the advertisement of some of the products, and Supreme Court took him to task, and then he has to give the sorry to the society at large, apology, confess in public. So that is not permissible by the Act. So, friends, I want to finish fast. Now, friends, let me just, 5 minutes are there. Now, let me just, don't touch all these points. Friends, when you want to take a job in pharma company, you can take job either in the accounts department, or you can take job in the finance department, or you can take a job in the inter audit department, or you can take a job in the taxation department, or you can take a job in the secretarial department, the chairman's office of family office department, family office. So there could be 5 opportunities for you in pharma companies. One is accounts department, another is the finance department, third is internal audit department, fourth is the taxation department, fifth is the chairman office or family office department, family office. Friends, all these required separate knowledge. Every department has separate knowledge required. Now, suppose you want to take a job in accounts department, then what is required? That I will tell you, then I will finish my discussion because time is very less. Number one, in accounts department, you must know accounting concept, principles. That is very easy and simple. You must have complete knowledge of finance of accounts. Schedule 6 that we have. Schedule 6 that we have. Complete knowledge of preparing balance sheet. And now consolidated accounts. That is also required. So your knowledge on consolidated accounts, what is to be eliminated, what is to be taken out, what is to be the unsold goods, what is to be treatment, all these things you must be aware of. That is very important. So finalization and consolidated accounts, that is very important. Another very important aspect is that you must know how to gather the information for the budget and MIS, monthly information system. So management information system. So that you must know how to collect the data. Then making provisions, making entry, the prepaid expenses, everything that is known to show that I don't want to take any discuss on point. So that is very important that you must know about the accounts department. Finance, that is very important point, that banking. Now what Siddharth discussed was different, what I am saying is different. Now, knowledge of banking is very important. Here you are not working in bank, but you are working in a company, you are on the different side of the table. You want loan, and they are granting loan. So how to make the loan application, loan proposal, meeting with the banking people, what they think, what is in their mind. All these things, that is very important. That you must know. Third is the internal department. Internal department is also very, very good department for you to work there. They audit, you have done everything, so I don't want to touch on that point, that you know very well. Fourth is the taxation department. Now in taxation, there are so many points that you must keep in mind. Now the first is the recent budget. They may ask you questions, or what is the recent budget? Now what is capital gain tax? What are the other points are there? So your knowledge on recent budget, just one month back, Sitaraman announced the budget. So that knowledge of that budget is very important. Another aspect is you must know the rates of taxes. What rates of taxes for the companies? What is Indian company? What income is taxable in India? Which are the incomes, now new regime taxation is there. 115 BAA. Now 115 BAA, starting new manufacturing activity. Suppose your turnover is less than 400 crores. What is the rate of tax? All these things. That is very important for you to know. That is, I am telling you, your knowledge on all these points is required. They may ask you questions on these points. They may ask you questions on this point. Another very important point I would say, friends, is the TDS provisions. Now, your knowledge, first you will be given the job of TDS. Then you will be given the other job. Now, TDS, there are so many TDS sections are there. But important one for you to know is the salary 192, 194 dividend, there is 10% tax is there. Then 194C, payment to contractors, maybe 1% individual or 2% to others. That you must know. Then commission 194H. Commission, that is very important, that is very common there, used there and applicable there. So 194 provisions you must know, H. 194I. They take so many units, offices on rent. So that what is the rent of machinery, rent of building. So that you must be aware of, that they will ask you. 194J. That is very important. Fees on professional services. Fees on professional services, that is very important, that you must know what is the rate, 2%, 10%, whatever may be there. 194Q. That is very, very important, that payment or credit exceeding 50 lakhs for purchase of goods. Then there is a TDS, just 2 years back it was introduced, it was 0.1%. That you must aware, what are provisions, intricacies of 194Q. That is very important, you must know. And last is 194R. That is very, very important. If you are trying for this job, you must understand provision of 194R. Tax on the perquisite inspector of business profession. That is very, very important, and 10% it is there. That knowledge is very important. Another important point that you must know is that there are two incentives in pharma companies. Number one, capital expenditure is allowed at 100%, except land and building. Only in very few industries it is allowed. So in pharma industries, if you carry out capital expenditure, if you buy machinery, if you buy computers for the this one, any capital item except land and building, if you use for the production, allowed at 100%, that is very important. Or if you give contribution to other recognized institute, then also you can get 100% deduction. That is very important. That is very, very unique thing applicable to them. Another DTAA. That is very important. I don't want to touch because time is less. And transfer pricing. That is very, transfer pricing, friends, it is very, very important for you. If you are going for the interview in pharma for taxation department, your knowledge on transfer pricing is very important. Just read those provisions and then go. It is very important. I'm just giving you the background for all these things. Then safe harbor rules are there. That is also important for you to know. Then there is one typical disallowance for this industry. Very typical disallowance. That is disallowance of unethical promotions. That if the company gives the gift to doctors, if they give travel facility to doctor, if they give any hospitality to doctor, if they give any cash to doctor, if they give any grant to doctor, or any freebies to doctors, that entire expense is disallowed because it is prohibition of law. That at this point, it was there earlier in my slide, but I have not touched. That knowledge of this section is very important for you to know. Now, another important aspect is merger and joint ventures. Friends, joint venture mergers are very common in the pharma sector. Your knowledge on pharma sector is important. That I just touched those points. And knowledge of, if you want to take a job in chairman's office, a family office, your knowledge on amalgamation joint ventures is must. That is very important for you to know. And last one, I would say, if you want a job in the accounts department or in taxation department, AS14. AS14 is very important for you to know. That's very important for you to know. So these are the sections, the points that you must know if you are trying for the job in pharma sector. So first I discuss two parts. First is the basic knowledge of pharma, and second, what you should know before you going for the interview in the pharma sector. Anyway, friends, time is very less. We're going to, instead of 30 minutes, I'm just allotted 20 minutes, so 10 minutes are less. Even 30 minutes is also less. On each slide, I can discuss for half an hour. But anyway, sorry friends. Anyway, last was most important. I wish you all the best for your lifetime. I wish you all the best for interview on tomorrow, that is 31st August. I wish that you get a very good job as per your desire, as per your liking, and let Almighty shower all His blessings on you to have best placement in your life. Wish you all the best. For this profession, friends, is the very, very important profession. This will, I tell you, I told earlier, this profession will give you recognition in the society. This profession will give you the respect in society. And this profession will give money for you and for your family. So friends, this is the most noble profession. Please stick to this profession, and I'm sure you will flourish in life because of the profession, and be thankful to Institute for granting this degree to you. Always be thankful to Institute for granting this degree. This is the most important degree, and this degree will take you to the new heights in your life. Anyway, thank you very much. All the best.
As rightly said, this degree is very, very, very important. And on behalf of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, I, CA Nikita Agarwal, thank you so much for this insightful and knowledgeable session, sir. Thank you so much. This is very valuable for our newly qualified chartered accountants. Thank you, sir. Thank you.